I really hope you realize that this stage of life that you're in is teaching you a lot more than you think. Whether you're in high school, uni, or you're working, have you ever stopped to think about what you're learning from your current experience? Well, if you're curious about architecture or you plan on studying it, here are a few things I've learned from this degree that they don't teach you in class. Hey there! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Simply V, come vibe with me. Today I'll be talking about 6 things I learned in architecture that they don't teach you in class. And the first lesson is that if you constantly ignore feedback, you will never improve as a person. So basically, majority of my degree involved us getting feedback from our tutors, and it was them telling us what was working about our designs, what they didn't think would work. And obviously, it wasn't based on their opinion, it was based more on their experience because they had more experience and they knew what would work compared to what would not work in a design. And as much as it was not the best thing for you to be told that something you've worked on over a long period of time is not working, it was them trying to help us. They wanted us to improve and do better with our designs. This applies to real life too, because it's always so important for you to reflect on what people tell you. It's not always going to be nice to hear that you need to work on certain aspects about yourself. But if you think about it, when you take that feedback that you get from people and you use it, you actually become the better version of yourself and you end up being the best version of yourself. And then the second thing is that living your life without goals or direction will set you up for failure. I think it's so important to write down a vision for your life, to know where you're going, and to actually act on it. As much as you may not attain it the first time, it will still be something that can guide you, that can remind you of what you actually want to become and where you're going. Whenever we got a project, a lot of things were in our own hands. Of course, we got a brief, but so many details were up to us. Things like the entrance, where your entrance is, the material of your building, the shape of the building. It was up to you. And that's similar to life. A lot of things are up to you. And you have to decide where you want to go in life early on, because if you don't have that awareness of what it is that will make you feel fulfilled in life. The next thing I learned is that one of the greatest forms of self-sabotage is thinking there is a better time to start than now. A lot of the times when we got projects, many of us would fall under this trap of, waiting on the right time to start a project or to start working on your ideas and things like that. And you find that it's similar to life, when you're always thinking to yourself, okay, I will wait for the right time because right now I don't think I have the confidence to go for this thing. I don't think I have the resources I need to start what I want to work on. But honestly, there's never a better time to start than now. Start with what you have, start where you are. If you want to start working out, but perhaps you don't have a gym membership, start working out at home. If you have something that you believe is worth your time, don't wait until all your eggs are in one. Don't wait to have all your ducks in a row. Work with what you have and start where you are, because there's never a better time to start than now. The next lesson I learned is that the risk of disappointment is better than the risk of doing nothing at all. A lot of the times when I had to submit smaller projects that would lead up to our final project, I would always hesitate to present my work to my tutors because I would always think that it's not where I want it to be yet. And I also didn't want the disappointment of hearing that your work is not good enough. And a lot of the times it would turn out that the work I had was actually good and my tutors would give me guidance on how to move forward from wherever I was. So with time, I learned that it's actually better for me to go to my tutor with the small amount of work that I have, with that little piece of cardboard that's supposed to represent a building, because it wouldn't help me to not present the work I have because I am scared it might not be good enough. So you realize that whenever you have something that you believe is worth working on, it's better for you to go for it. It's better for you to start working on it. Don't be afraid of the disappointment that comes if that thing doesn't work out, because it's so much better than you looking back and realizing that, oh, I could have done something. I could have been great. So always go for it and never allow fear to hold you back. Then the next lesson I learned is that distractions, and easy dopamine will ruin your life. This is something a lot of students can relate with. It always feels better to choose the easy way, something that will distract you, something that doesn't involve a lot of effort, something that doesn't involve a lot of thinking, something like scrolling on social media or taking a long nap after you've already had 8 hours of sleep. When I look back and reflect, I realize that so many of my projects could have been that much better if I put away the distractions, if I put away the things that felt like the easy option at the time. And it applies to life as well. If you don't put in the hard work now, if you don't start that healthy habit that you meant to start, or you don't work on something that you know you're supposed to work on now, you find that eventually you're gonna have to put in more work. At the end, you're gonna have to do more than you could have just done if you put aside those things that make you feel comfortable. And then the last lesson I learned through studying architecture is that the discomfort of challenging yourself is better than the realization of wasted potential. Now, one thing about architecture is that it's very demanding. It requires you to think analytically and to think fast. One of the most challenging things that we had to do were working drawings. Oh my gosh. These are basically drawings that you submit to your contractor before your building is actually constructed. Those required a lot of detail. And at times, after spending hours on that working drawing, you'd still be told you need to do more or you need to push the drawing further. And so that discomfort of pushing yourself, of trying to produce a working drawing that is as detailed as it can be, doing the research, looking into what you can do better, looking into how other people have done it, it was not fun, but it was always so rewarding. At the end, when you would look at the work you created and you think to yourself, I didn't think I was capable, but I realized that after putting myself through this discomfort, I actually created something I'm proud of. So always have that in mind when you're faced with any form of discomfort, when you have to push yourself to the limit. It might not be nice at the time, but at the end, when you realize that I really put the best of me in this thing, I did the best, you'll be so proud of yourself. And more importantly, you won't be sitting down and realizing that you wasted potential that you could have used. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please let me know if there's anything you're learning from your current experience or your current season that you're in. Goodbye.